Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough, and welcome back to another episode of Summer of SpongeBob. Today we're going to be talking about SpongeBob video games. Like you'd expect, there are plenty of SpongeBob tie-in games, but surprisingly, from what I've heard, they're pretty good. Usually there's a stigma to these kind of games that are based on popular properties, because most of the time they're pretty bad. Cheaply made games just pushed out to bank on the name. But the thing with SpongeBob is, even when the show's quality seemed to have been going down, the game still generally got good reception. Sure, there may have been a couple that were lackluster, but it seems like a majority opinion that most SpongeBob games are the exception to the rule of licensed games, praised for their platforming, gameplay, and their controls. Okay, I already reviewed the SpongeBob video game thing before with SpongeBob Plug and Play, so just go check out that review. So, that's it for this episode. I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough. Wiz, you're not skipping out that easily. No, people click the video, they know what you want to review, they want to see you talk about one of the greatest SpongeBob games of all time. Do you mean... Oh, I mean... Battle for Bikini Bottom. Yeah, but isn't this game, hailed as a classic? So what? You've talked about stuff you've liked before. Talk about the stuff you thought was good. Talk about the stuff you thought could have been better. Talk about the remastered edition coming up soon. Alright? Give the people what they want. They want a review of Battle for Bikini Bottom, damn it. Yeah, you're right. This is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom on GameCube. Battle for Bikini Bottom was originally released in 2003 and was published by THQ, the guys that make a ton of these cartoon licensed games, for a variety of different platforms. GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2, Game Boy, and PC. And just recently it was announced that they're remastering the game for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, including stuff that was originally cut out of the one that we're looking at today. One of the major selling points that I heard about this game before I got it was that it's a collectathon platformer similar to the Rareware classics like Banjo-Kazooie. And I don't know about you, but that actually sounds pretty awesome. So, let's see what makes this game so great. This is Battle for Bikini Bottom for the GameCube. The game's story begins with Plankton hatching another scheme to take over Bikini Bottom, in this case using a machine to mass assemble an army of robots. But Rutro, the obey switch was set to do not obey, so all the robots gang up against him and throw him out of his own evil lair. Meanwhile, with SpongeBob and Patrick, they're playing some cowboys and robots when they wish that it was all real.
We put the toy robots in here.
Okay.
Then we say the magic wishing words and shake the magic wishing chain.
Okay.
Then we go to sleep, and in the morning, we'll have real robots to play with!
From there, we jump into a tutorial of SpongeBob running around his house, giving the player a chance to get used to the controls. How to talk to characters with the R button, press A to jump and twice for a double jump, and B to spin and hit objects. In terms of what you collect in this game, you get underpants that serves as lives, golden spatulas which can help you progress to the next level, and these shiny things, that's seriously what they're called, that work as a type of currency that help you progress throughout each level. You can obtain the shiny things anywhere since they're scattered all throughout, win golden spatulas from either beating the level or doing a bunch of different tasks like helping Patrick find his socks, and underpants is scattered all throughout the levels like most power-ups and extra lives.
SpongeBob, this flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship.
Hey, that's not Clancy Brown, you're not Mr. Krabs. The first level takes place in Jellyfish Fields as the robots are attacking innocent people. Be careful with these metal menaces because they're heavily armed with... ham. Yes, ham is now a deadly weapon in a video game. And they also have mayonnaise, which that seems silly on paper, but in the context of SpongeBob, mayo is probably the deadliest of them all.
With nothing to look forward to but the smell of mayonnaise!
To stop the jellyfish from going manic, which is what Squidward was complaining about at the beginning of the level, you have to stop King Jellyfish. So the level has you work your way up the mountain till you face up against him as the boss. For a first level, it's the right level of difficulty. Not too easy, but it's not too impossible for a start. Halfway through, you can switch between characters at this bus stop area that are scattered all throughout the levels. You switch into Patrick, who has an advantage over SpongeBob at this point in the game, and that he can throw projectiles. Make your way through this cavern area, then switch back to SpongeBob, make your way through this area with the platforms, and then you should be ready to fight King Jellyfish. The layout of this boss is similar to something like Monkey Ball. Just wait for the villain to get close and then hit them about 3 or 4 times and they should be down for the count. Now you just work your way back down and get more shiny things, get a gold spatula, and you're on to level 2, Downtown. Like before, you gotta take out as many robots as you can, but your objective this time is to collect steering wheels for boating vehicles that have been stolen by the robots. You also switch into Sandy in this level to get to higher to reach places with her lasso propeller. Unlike the last level, which was a little bit more of a straightforward objective, the downtown area is one of the levels that's bigger and a little bit more open, so there's more chance to explore hidden areas. And even if you miss certain items, you can always go back and get them later. There's also a section where you have to help Larry with his TV antenna in one of the game's many bonus missions. Unlike the first level, the boss isn't really a big bad you take out, but rather a downward spiral of taking out all these mini robot making machines in this one building. Complete that, and you're on to level 3, Goo Lagoon.
Robot is out on the island. Nobody can get to him. SpongeBob, maybe you can use those sun reflectors to point the sun's rays on that robot.
So now you control as SpongeBob and Patrick using these sun reflectors to destroy the robot that stole the sunscreen. Climb up these lifeguard towers and hit the button that turns the reflectors in the right direction. I don't know about any of the other versions of this game, or if this will even be a problem in the remastered edition, but a lot of the difficulty stems from either the controls or your sense of depth perception. A few times on this level, there were certain jumps and certain projectile throws that are hindered depending on your view. Sometimes the camera can make it look like a button or a shore area which is safe to jump on is closer than it is. There's also 2 bonus missions this time around. Get the children away from the killer robots, and one that involves this bonus carnival area where you have to take out the robots messing with Mr. Krabs' business. Work your way around the carnival, collect some more items, earn some more gold spatulas, and that helps you progress to the next level, which is basically one big boss fight. You alternate between SpongeBob and Patrick, who are put into a wrestling match against the giant robot Sandy by King Neptune. If King Jellyfish's boss was a warm-up, this is a setup for things to come with these giant robot duplicate boss levels. Because yes, there is more of them to come.
Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
It's a new power, the Bubble Bowl. But wait, there's more, a golden spatula.
Oh, thank you. It all means so much. I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
I just barely made it, so next level, rock bottom.
Robots have stolen priceless artwork from the museum. If you can return it all to me, I'll reward you with a golden spatula.
Why do you want all that artwork?
Don't ask questions you aren't prepared to handle the answer to.
I think we just got an unofficial answer as for why Mrs. Puff had to skip several towns and change her name. So work your way over to the museum, collecting the artwork along the way. Once you get over there, you have to shut off the security system to get another gold spatula. This part definitely relies on patience. Wait for the platforms to not be electrified and look before you leap because you just might get hit by the laser security system. After that, you alternate between SpongeBob and Sandy as you try and finish off the attacking robots in this trench area.
What the fuck happened? We land in the Marianas Trench?
Once you finish that, you then get a bonus level of Sandy's Tree Dome where you have to fend off a couple of robots. And then there's a level on Sand Mountain where you alternate between regular platforming and sledding down on SpongeBob's tongue. This level is similar to the Jellyfish Fields level with the point A to point B get to the end of the level layout, intermixed with racing segments to see if you can beat the high scores of Bubble Buddy, Mrs. Puff, and Larry. In the next level, you're trying to fend off evil robots in the Mermalair, and this is quite possibly one of my favorite levels in the game just because of the layout of the stage. I mean, some of the parts can be a little bullcrap with the platforms that are designed like Rube Goldberg traps, but overall, I think this is a pretty fun stage. Even if this bubble bowl thing took a little getting used to.
Oh no. It looks like one of the villains is broken free.
What's that? An evildoer on the loose?
Who is it?
Man Ray! The atomic flounder! The dirty bubble!
No, worse than that. He's your archenemy, Prawn.
Prawn! I'll never forgive you, you madman!
What did Prawn do?
The worst thing you can imagine. He put all of Mermaid Man's white clothes in the washer with a red sock.
Everything I own turned pink! Pink!
I thought it was funny. This boss fight is actually pretty easy. Dodge the robots, wait for the floor pattern to be safe to walk on, hit Prawn a couple of times, and you should be good to go. So, time for another big robot boss, in this case, a giant robot Patrick. This fight is a little bit tougher than the robot Sandy level, as you switch between SpongeBob and Sandy in a variety of different attacks. It takes some doing, but you kick his evil metal ass a couple of times until he falls into the acid, and that's what officially fries him for good. And now, the last 5 levels in the game. We have made it this far, we're in for the long haul. Let's do this. So the last 5 levels of the game include take out the robots that are attacking the Krusty Krab and the Flying Dutchman's ship, which after you help him get rid of the robots, he decides he's gonna keep the gold spatula he promised you for himself until Sandy kicks his ass in a boss fight. Rescue children that are stuck in the kelp forest, as well as help Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy find their energy crystals in a stage layout that's similar to the Sand Mountain level. Kinda surprised there was no reference to the magic conch shell in this level. Though I do have one criticism with this level, and that is it can be pretty hard to see in certain areas. I mean, the lighting in this game varies from level to level, but here, it's even harder to see where you're going compared to Rock Bottom. And then you get a level where SpongeBob falls asleep and you're supposed to collect items in everybody's dreams. And that somehow translates to you collected them in the real world? Maybe it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street thing where you can take things from the dream world into the real world, or...
Some dreams are so powerful they become real!
I don't know. Cartoon, run with it. And now, the final showdown. Our team finally gains access back into the chum bucket, and they come face to face with a robot Plankton who unleashes his ultimate weapon, a giant robot SpongeBob. And I just gotta say, this is one tough, mean son of a bitch boss battle. The thing wants you dead, and once he gets close enough to hit, you use your bubble projectiles a couple times and your hit attacks, and you got him right where you want him.
No! You don'ts have destroyed my beautiful bride! We were supposed to get married next week!
Did he say married?
Huh? You may have defeated him physically, but Robot Plankton goes into Robot SpongeBob's head and you have to go in after him. Platform around a couple of times, dodge lasers, take out Robot Plankton, and shoot down Robot SpongeBob's mainframe, and you have successfully beaten the game.
Clear, kid, now let's blow this thing and go home.
SpongeBob, you did it!
What'd he do?
Yeah. All my plans ruined! That does it. I'm becoming a lawyer.
That was Battle for Bikini Bottom, and yes, it's a damn good game. This was a blast to revisit. The game is what Misadventures was trying to be, a game that puts the player into the world of the show, and in that way, it succeeded. The characters and locations were well utilized, the gameplay was a pretty solid platform and collectathon, and even when the game starts getting difficult, it's the kind of difficult where you want to keep playing. There's a reason that this game is hailed as a classic, because it's just so badass even after all these years. And you know I'm excited for that remastered edition on the way. Not only are they going to enhance the graphics, but I'd love to see the extra stuff that they added that wasn't in this version. And you know what? This game was so good, it's going on Shelf of the Best. Next time on Summer of SpongeBob, we're going to be taking a look at a SpongeBob board game. Until then, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough.
When worlds collide, you'll laugh so hard, you'll swear you died. When worlds collide, hold my hand, I'll be your guide. When worlds collide, buckle up for the sweetest ride, and prepare to have your mind blown wide. When worlds collide, when worlds collide.
When worlds collide, it's a curious thing. Bet you never heard a robot and a caveman sing. In his metal chest are some working parts. How is that different from my beat-in art?
It's me, SpongeBob. It's me, Robot, oh my gosh!